Hello, everybody, and welcome to some Sunday streaming. So hopefully we'll continue some of the work we started here yesterday, and I'll show you a little bit more of some of the things that I've been doing just around some of the textures and looking at some of the statistics. It was a little bit changed with Unreal Engine 5 where some of those things got moved. So we'll look at that as well. Hey, Ruslan, welcome. Unfortunately, English. I'm not entirely sure what language that is, so English, please. Thank you. All right. So you remember yesterday, and this is again what's kind of odd to me is that this that message that we were seeing with the running out of texture and all that. Uh, so now it's not showing, which again is kind of strange. But and Oh, a couple of the things that I was doing as well yesterday. So what helps a lot is, hey, Gitish, welcome, welcome. And I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Glad to have you. So one of the things that I've been doing is trying to this. I remember having this statistics, being able to access this statistics window in in Unreal Engine 5, and I remember where it was in Unreal Engine 4, but in 5 it got moved under, let me see if I can find it again because it's under audit. So tools, audit, and then statistics. And in here, I was able to kind of track down some of the bigger offenders when it comes to like really big textures. So for example, if we look at this, we'll see that one of them is where that I can't pull this, open this up a little more. But looking at the current dimension, you'll see that some of the big offenders when it comes to also to fully loaded memory here, which I'm trying to bring down, you'll see that one of them is these uh, and literally is just a mask for a metahuman sneaker. And this is I have apparently I haven't like downscale this at all. Also like the teeth gums normal, which is also really big for something that you're probably not going to notice anything in it. And so let's try and fix these, and we'll bring this even further down. So what I did yesterday, I've looked at a bunch of these offending textures, and I think I've managed to cut back on at least 1 gig, maybe I think about a gig of what was shown in this fully loaded memory. And yeah, so 4K textures for a sneaker, and this is at medium quality MetaHuman. And so high quality, I don't even dare downloading because it's probably useless. I mean, not useless, but pointless unless you're like really zooming in on those sneakers for whatever reason. But but yeah, let's take a look at this one, and we'll fix a couple of these things because all of these are just gigantic, and they shouldn't be more than like 1K, especially for like masks. So let's just gonna grab all of these, and let's do asset actions, edit property, and selection matrix. So grab all these guys, and then going into maximum texture size. So I'm just going to set this to 1024. And let's go back to this stat window here, and you'll see how the fully loaded memory drops. It's probably not going to be by a lot, but every texture counts. So I have this set to 1024. Let's hit enter. We'll see what happens. So that was, oh, I wish I could recall what the number was before. Let me set this back to, I think it was 0. So now it's 5 gig, 5.82. So that was 30 megabytes. So that's once you have a ton of these, it's gonna stack up. So there you go. And that is literally just one texture because I don't think the other ones were actually used anywhere else. And now let's also look at some of these like teeth gum normal. That's another one that I have no need for this to be at that kind of a level. And it's if we look at this texture per se, literally you really have to zoom in to actually get any details. And by this point, it's also just like really pretty bad anyway. So it's um, it's no point in having these at that kind of a scale. So let's edit these ones as well. And there we have it here, and we'll set this to 1024 as well. Let's see if we can bring this down even further. So 5, 8, 12. And so there you go. Uh, that's 8, 12 to, so that's 30, 33, 32 megabytes. So that's quite helpful. And there you go. Now we have a little bit better, and a lot of these could probably go uh, even lower, especially when it comes to like roughness and normal maps. So Ruslan, I think I can read that if it means privet, welcome, welcome. But unfortunately, everything else I don't know. So yeah, I know how to say how to greet people in a few languages. All right. Well, so that was one of the things that I wanted to show you, something that I went through last night and trying to clean up and kind of try to remove that, get closer to just getting rid of that error message altogether. Yeah, so yesterday we've kind of worked on this area, and this is how it looks here. Uh, yeah, so I'm actually Romanian, Ruslan. Yeah, and so neighbor to Ukraine there. Imran, hello, hello. Good, good. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. We just started off with doing a little bit of work in actually cutting back on some of um, the texture usage that we've seen before, and just trying to bring that number down, as low as we can, or at least completely eliminate it. Hey, good to have you, Ruslan. Happy to have you. Dziękujemy, I guess, right? Nice to meet you as well. And oh yeah, and that's Gitish, that's totally it. So if we were to look at those statistics here, where was that? Did I close the statistics window? What part? No, that was under tools, audit, statistics. All right, so let's take a look at this. The main thing is, and let's take a look at the current dimensions. I believe if you were to zoom out and go out here, for example, I believe I was thinking this would refresh with like all the other textures. So you can get like at least what's currently loaded or what's in view. But I think that's everything that's loaded at the moment. So we're doing a lot better than we were. But again, this is where some of the normals could be brought down a little bit. Like for example, this this ground tile. Let's take a quick look at this as an example. So this one's set to 2048, so it could easily be at 1024. Oh yes, yes, my bad. You're right. So let's refresh here and let's see if we got what offending ones. Actually, we're doing pretty well. So we're all at 2048 by 2048, but definitely a lot of them could just go to, especially when it comes to normals. And so you got, normals and roughness maps. They could definitely go even lower. But we're getting better at with this. I think it's going the right way, so I'm happy about that. And this is with like everything loaded, so it's not like I'm not hiding any of the like the factory is over here. Um, everything with the dam is in. Like the residential areas are in. So yeah, literally everything is loaded at the moment. And But yeah, as you know, as I keep building the world, I think this is very useful. And again, sometimes I am lazy as to watch uh, as to watch what was I saying? Like some of the documentation videos from Unreal, and this was literally in one it was I think might have been like an older video. It's not something very recent, but it was a very useful just to show you where things have moved. You know, because like I said, I knew about this window from UE4, and I kind of almost forgot about it. But now, you know, encountering that message, I thought, you know, let's revisit this. But this is very useful here to just go through some of these things and you know, I wish one thing that I wish they would have here, unfortunately, you can't really, you know, because there's so many different assets. I wish you could sort by name. I mean, not by name, but by type. You know, kind of like I think the compression or like, you know, if you go under one of these, um, let's see, I'm not sure if it's actually listed in like one of like a normal, but texture group world normal map, for example, could we, is that a thing in here? So, hmm. Yeah, I'd be interested. I'd be nice if you could like sort things based on that. But oh yeah, there you go, group. All right, this let's see. Could that be part of it? Or terrain weight map? What else do we have? World. Okay, so most of them are just in the world group. Yeah, so like I was hoping that, like for example, this being a normal, if we look at it, if we open its details. Yeah, so oh yeah, the texture group is normal, but like the compression settings, see like this one is set as a normal map and it's listed here. So I'm not sure if you could see that in here to kind of just filter like the normal map. So Yatish, I think that is the VRAM. Don't quote me on it. I had to watch that video a couple of times because I'm not entirely sure. I'm probably just dense or something, but when it comes to explanations on like video memory and like the usage of that, I just don't, I'm not sure why I just having a hard time understanding it. So I think this is like fully VRAM. So basically with my video card having I believe 8 gigs of RAM, I think if this one goes over 8 gigs, it's just going to start throwing that message. Again, that's my very low understanding of this. Yeah, so, and I think part of it is part of me streaming is also learning from, you know, people that know more about this and, you know, people commenting. So it's also good. But yeah, at least we are getting there with the, I think with the, you know, with the statistics and, or at least, you know, that error. We'll see when it happens again. I'm kind of curious about this number when that error starts to happen. So I'm just going to write it down as, you know, to kind of keep track of it, right? So it's 5 gigs, 5.7800000. We'll just call it that. We'll round that up a little bit. So I'll see when that error message pops up again and check this to see what has changed, you know. And I believe, let's actually, because I think yesterday, for whatever reason, I was able to trigger it when we were in that sewer area. So we were like right in here, and that thing popped up. So let me try and do a refresh in that statistics and see if it's, yeah, so it didn't change. It's still at 5779. But let's jump into game mode and see if any of that changes again. I'm not sure if it will how that will be updated at game time. But let's see. Okay, so far so good. So see, this is, I like seeing this as a fully loaded memory, like a really small amount, because again, but hey, there's that message. Did I just see it? Did I just see that? Oh, there it is. There it is. So that's very interesting. Like it happens at runtime, but why? Okay, so I just refreshed this and it went up to 1.7 gigs, right? So let's see, like looking that way, or if it matters. Let's see what happens if I'm like above ground. Oh, there it goes. So now it's starting to trigger this message. So let's see, do we have a different stat out here? No, it's still the same. So I'm also wondering if this has something to deal with what my current values are for this parameter, r.streaming dot pool size. So whatever you set this to, if that has anything to do with it. So if I set it to 6,000, this is one of the things that I was hoping they would explain more in that video. I think they might have explained it in the following video, but in the video where they were showing the stats and trying to, to set the maximum resolution size, they weren't saying anything about the CVAR, or if it helps or not, which I was hoping they would, but you know, more to be discovered. So yeah. Okay. So I was thinking for the rest of the stream, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, guys. But I was hoping to just kind of continue on with some of these areas. So we're kind of come up with a pretty decent looking area out here, which is right off of this main road. And I was hoping to just kind of jump over to where this dam is at, and try and do some work around this kind of this little, I would say maybe river slash, kind of dumping area, not dumping area, but like where the dam would like kind of the outflow. Not entirely sure what you would call that, but so I've started some of it over here. And this is could to also serve as blocking the player from going up the hill and because I've tried doing that in Far Cry 5 and the nice thing about Far Cry 5 is that the map is gigantic, so even once you start climbing over here, and you keep on going and you keep on going, like you still don't come off to the end of the map, so to speak. They've had that done really nicely. So it seemed like somewhere around here they just start popping a message saying, go back, kind of, you know. And I'm thinking at least for now in some of these areas to just have some of these cliffs, in some regards, just block the player from going any forward. And let's see how that's gonna work. Maybe finish off some of this area. Make it refine it a little bit. And there's that pesky message again. It kind of goes. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. I think yesterday was in the 1 gig, but we'll see if this increases because it's like again, it's really I'm trying to make heads or tails of it, um, and while this window helps, it doesn't really help to clarify why this is happening. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep going through some of the documentation. But yeah, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This helped, and it's going to help even further if I once I go through some of these textures. But I'd like to make see if there's any relation between this and the streaming memory. At this point, I'm not sure there is, but More to come. Okay, so let's see what we can do for this area here, and we'll try and get some more of these pieces in place. And as I was mentioning yesterday, with the pack level actors, this area here is using a bunch of the same two actors, like there's this one and this one, and then these big blocks. So this is again a perfect place where you can just select these actors and create a pack level actor. And at least that's what I'm planning. And so far, I've gotten um, some good decrease in the number of draw calls. All right, let me try and kind of work on this this road here and try to get it so that it's not in the water. I'm trying to find where the spline points are at. Hide this for now. There we go. So Gitish, pack level actor is, I can show you real quick. Let me see. Yesterday I was showing this as an example. One second, let me just do this. Actually, I'll show it to you now, and then we'll come back to that. So pack level actor is where would the best example be? Yeah, the one thing I was showing yesterday is in here, where there's like a lot of lot of repeating static meshes and such. So for example, and this is a good example because it's just a bunch of these same kind of boxes, or like three different boxes or something like that. And so in this level, this is a pack level actor here. And if I was to edit this, what you'll see is it has a bunch of either like an instance static mesh, and we were trying to kind of figure out why this is a static instance mesh, and or like how does it decide when you select a bunch of actors that are similar, not similar but the same, and how does it, because you can select a bunch of these actors, you can right click, and I'll show you what I do for that, and then create this directly. At that point, how the engine decides which one to use as a pack level actor versus, I mean, not a, but instance static mesh versus hierarchical instance static mesh, that part I don't really know. We were thinking, and I think some, people were right yesterday suggesting that one of them is whether it has different transformations, and the other one is if it's just you know, doesn't have it. But yeah, so each one of these, you'll see that has a number of instances of itself, right? So basically just doing one draw call. And some of them have more, like for example, 16 elements. So this is just one item, which is this bollard uh, static mesh, right? So, and by putting it in a pack level actor, it creates this hierarchical instance static mesh, which has 16 instances of itself. And at that point, in theory, and also from some of my testing, it's only going to be one draw call. Hey, Bob, Bob, buonasera. Salud. Welcome to the stream. And so that's what this does. And what's nice about it is that you can kind of treat it like a level instance. And the one thing that I'm not entirely sure if it does, let me see. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it has like a runtime grid like that you can use for the world partition. But you can go inside and edit it, and you can edit this one you would do um, just like you would do a level instance, right? The only thing is, and I think you need to have it like that way, is the level instance is what drives your runtime grid for the world partition, you know. Oh yeah, you're right. That's probably it. That's probably it. I haven't looked into it that much. I'd have to like look at the documentation some more. But oh, and there's that message again. It goes up to 2 gigs again for why and how, again, to be discovered. Um, but yeah, this was also it was much higher yesterday. Uh, but again, after I brought this, I went through a lot of these textures and set the maximum resolution. It brought it down to 1,200. So it's still a ways to go, and hoping that will get even better. But that's kind of just a little bit of grunt work, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Um, hey, Leven, welcome. Did you try removing the temporary files and rebuild them? So if you mean by temporary files, do you mean like these ones here, like the saved and the intermediate, like these folders? Or what do you mean by? Oh yeah. So I've tried doing that and it didn't really do anything. But I'll keep that in mind because like this derived data cache, I think this is something they can remove and it's like 5.5 gigs. So you're probably right on that. Thank you. Thank you so much for suggesting that. I really appreciate it. Um, I'm just gonna make myself a note and see how it works after that. And again, this is another another good reason for streaming, right? Kitish, are the distant mountains 2D textures or meshes? So, like depending on how distant, do you mean like these ones back here? If that's this is actually just a cylinder. Where is it? Viewport. It's just this here. I wish I could like zoom into this a little bit easier, but yeah, so this is what that is. It's just a masked material that looks like this, for the um, maybe on a there you go. So that's literally what it is. Keep trying to keep things simple-ish. But hopefully that answers your question, Gitesh. Yeah, it's actually I kind of like that. It's uh, because you can see it from way back here, right? And let's see how it looks without it, because it could be a really interesting comparison. The fog makes it look like it's really out there, so it does give a sense of size. But yeah, if I was to hide that, let's see how it looks, because it might you'll see it definitely I definitely like it how it is, so you know even without it, it still looks pretty good. but I think with it, and I think it's a little maybe might be a little bit. I'm pretty high up off the ground at the moment, so here I think it could be scaled down a little bit maybe. Uh, like actually, one, my bad. I need to. I just need to scale it. Maybe something like that. It seemed a little too high, but thank you so much uh for asking. Yeah, so there you go. And okay, so let's get back to some of this work around here. We were doing some sculpting, and for some of these, let's try and get some fall off on the sides. Hopefully, it's going to help a little bit with not have this, help with the fall off around here. There he goes. That's much better. So now we can just like flatten it out a little bit. Yeah, but thank you so much for asking. That's sometimes, when just, folks ask about stuff, it's just, helping me do uh some make some changes, right? All right, so let's flatten this to about here-ish. There we go. Give a little bit of a variety to that surface. And we'll kind of do the same thing on this end to yeah, see now that that thing is gone, it's like I know it's trying to like maybe I have some textures that are being tried to be streamed in, and yeah. But again, like I said, there's like still quite a number of textures that I need to make better. All right, let me also this terrain is looking a little barren, so as usual, it always helps to have some kind of vegetation in here. So let's paint a little bit of mulch so we can get some trees going. Maybe not through there, but on these peaks, like hills, I would say. See if I can select the proper one. So my hope is by next week to get this all figured out and hopefully just completely get rid of it. But leaving hopefully I'm not butchering your name too much. Thank you so much for that suggestion. I try to like delete all that excess stuff coming in, and but sometimes I fail. Artist at work. Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's fun, that's one thing that I'm kind of thinking, from like the whole AI perspective is the kind of the ability to be able to spend more time on just being creative, and because there are definitely a lot of tasks in game development that are just like very repetitive, and hopefully, you know, um, AI would have a place in aiding us with that. At least I hope. Well, we'll see how that goes, but yeah. All right, let's see if this one could spawn some trees around this area here. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't do it the first time. Try and make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, so that's what where's my resimulate? Gitish, that's what I had here, this being like the once this resimulates. But that's interesting why I wouldn't like spawn anything in this area. But yeah, this area here was like kind of like a riverbed uh, from that, kind of just the outwash or like whatever the dump, the thing coming off of this one. Oh, I know what this is. I think I know what this is. It's just limited to that. Oh God, that's silly. All right, so let me increase this in size a little bit and just place it all the way back here. All right, there we go. So that should help. Yeah, that's and I'm not sure if we have folks that are Star Trek fans, but like I'm a big Star Trek fan. And one thing that they always, bring up is, not having to worry about money. I know it's, our society is far from that, but not have to worry about money or food or housing and be able to focus on, things like that. That's I hope for something like that that we'll get to it eventually. But it is, to me at least, that'd be something nice to have, kind of, um, we've dealt with a bunch of issues in the world, and now we just focus on this. So, you know, if we can reach that, that'd be awesome. Yes. All right. So there's some trees. Yay. And we'll get the same on this other shore, on this other side. But let's plant some of these plant, but plop some of these big rocks over around here. So Gitish, this is exactly kind of where I would expect a pack level actor to work to work perfectly. It would be selecting, there's like just three different meshes here, selecting all of them and just have three draw calls for this entire this entire section here. So, hey Gitish, yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Um, you you get that work done, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Thank you for stopping by. Bye bye. All right, so let's get some of this uh big mesh over here and try to like see how we can set these up. Okay, I'm not sure about this one. It's just like this like cliffside, and then there's like this kind of plopped in the middle like that, and not really feeling it. Maybe I think that will work a little bit better like that. Okay-ish. Alright, so let's continue on onto this side here. Oh, thank you, thank you so much. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Gitish, for sharing. Hey, Phil, that one was troubling me. What were you referring to? Like this piece here in the middle, or the pack level actors? Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was bothering me as well. So I think this field fits a little bit better, as long as I can like get this little piece of dirt out of the way here. Let's see if we can smooth this out. I'm wondering how this is gonna look. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly how I was looking at it, and it feels a little bit better now. I'm still not. I wouldn't say. It's better. Let me put it that way. I think it's not. Doesn't feel like so out of place at this point. Yeah. So I'll, kind of initial placement at this point, but hopefully it's just it's gonna work out a little bit better as we go. And what I think over here that I should be doing is kind of that terracing part. That terracing part is something that I really liked how it ended up on this corner. So I'm gonna try and do some of that over here. So because like there's this like flat area, and I wanted it to kind of retopologize it a little bit. Steven, thank you so much for stopping by. Um, yeah, that's always good. I'm happy with that you made all that progress. That's awesome. Yeah, and if you need some help with the world partition, I can at least share some of the stuff that I've done. Gitish, is there any way we can bake meshes together so that only the visible vertex are saved? Oh, that's an interesting one. Hmm. Good point. I don't know. Yeah, you too, Levin. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. But yeah, Gitish, that's a great point. I know you can merge meshes, but again, it's just going to be that whole blob of things all together. So I'm not sure what. I mean, there might be a benefit because there's only one mesh, but at the same time, yeah. All right, so I'm going to try something that this retopologize. I'm not entirely sure what it does, to be honest. I haven't really used it, but. Does it do anything? Yeah, I think it's, you have to like sculpt some areas. Like you would have these hills here, and was thinking you'd be able to do something, but okay, maybe it just works off of one of these. Maybe I don't know how to use it, so we'll just we'll just flatten things out and sculpt it the regular way. But first, I wanted to just place some of these things around here so we can get like some what to sculpt around, so to speak. So I'm gonna start with one of these big guys. And we'll just use this as a kind of, we'll do this as a next, the, the next step, so to speak. So we'll kind of start here and we'll sculpt around that. Um, oh, yeah, that's true, Phil, as well. I think so. Though I haven't tried it, so I couldn't tell you. But that's an interesting, like I definitely like the idea, you know. All right, so it's blocked all the way to that end. Let's do some sculpting around this corner. Could get this up to a point where we can start flattening it out. So we'll get some trees spawned on that, which should look nice. And there we go. We'll just also add a ramp so we can access that. Just like that. Try to do some of this stuff around the edges here, and then we'll try and smooth it out. Oh, I see. Yeah, I get what you're saying as well, Gitish, but you know, uh, how the engine builds it in the end, it's a mystery. But yeah, officially late. Hopefully we didn't keep you too long. So have a good night. All right, so let me just kind of smooth this out a little bit around here. There we go, around here as well. And we'll do some painting. Let's extend this out a little bit more. All right, so that's always nice to have that kind of like an outcropping. Not sure if you call it like an outcropping, but just going out like that. So let's see how it works once we spawn this again. Where is that guy? It's here. Try to resimulate this. Oh yeah, there you go. It's nice to have some of those trees at different elevations, and we should also get some up top over here. Let's fix that. Hey, Siddharth, again, apologies for the butchering of names that I'm doing. Phil, yeah, that's true. That's totally true. And thank you so much, Siddharth. Oh yeah. Let me just finish this off real quick here with adding these little some of those trees, and we'll do like a fly around the map a little bit. Thank you so much for asking. I'm gonna need to move that electrical pole over here maybe, but let's see, maybe we don't have to. We'll just try and get it done like this. Now let's paint some mulch so we can get some trees to happen around these edges. All right, where was I? Where was I? Over here. All right, so there we go. Some of that. All right, let's see what spawns in here. Oh, so yeah, so the game. Oh, there we go. We have some things, growing up top there on that ridge. So from down here, it's starting to look okay. We'll finish this one off in a little bit, and we'll maybe address these to make it to put some gaps in there. But so the game itself, this is kind of like the playable area. Let me see if I can like zoom out. So this is the playable area here. It's a first person action adventure single player game. It's kind of like a huge inspiration, for the world design itself. I've taken from Far Cry 5 and Days Gone, kind of like the northern type of conifer forest. And so there's going to be a few areas. The way you start the game is through a malfunctioning plane, that's kind of crashing, right? So you can jump out of the airplane at in three spots. Basically, what I'm focusing on right now is trying to get one of the spots kind of built out so that I can do a demo this summer, and so the people can play it out. And the so the town it's the the world itself, is focused around. There's like a residential area out here. This terrain got busted with an issue, when a bug that I had with Unreal that deleted this section, so I just need to fix it out. But this is kind of where the some of the residential houses are at. This is where the town is at, and this is just kind of like a little bit of a little village off to the side, and the same kind of going on over here. This is a little bit of an industrial area where like a dam is, with like the insides of the dam. And let me see if I have anything loaded in here. I wish I had more things loaded in the dam, but unfortunately I still didn't bring that in. So my bad. I was going to show you some of the dam interior as well. But and there's like a couple of other points of interest in the world, which again, apologies for the lack of the terrain. There's like an observation point here. There's three main locations where some of the missions are going to be focused on around this antenna. There's like three of these communications antennas in the world. So one over here, another one is going to be in this area, and another one over here, you know. And there's going to be this kind of industrial complex that has been overtaken by like the bad guys. And uh, as you interact with the NPCs that are in the world, they're going to give you like the missions, and that's how you're going to discover what had happened, or what's currently going on in the world. And of course, there's like the combat aspect of things, with just basic weapons. Basic at this point, I only have like for the player, they're going to be able to use a bow, rifle, and a pistol, depending on their approach, of course. The enemy NPCs are only going to be wielding like a rifle. And of course, as another enemy, there's going to be uh, areas where this bad guy is going to be at. So this is going to be, it's not going to be like an instantaneous kill, but it's gonna, you're not going to be able to get past these, wherever they're placed. Basically, I'm going to use them to limit how far the player not how far the player goes, but to not leave the world, kind of, if you think of Days Gone and you know, Far Cry 5 and some other games as well that are similar, you have you're blocking like a tunnel, or you're blocking either there's like debris that fallen down, and they block the tunnel. And yeah, exactly. That is as invisible as the invisible barrier, So if I have a tunnel, because they're going to be, there's going to be like this road itself is going to end up in a tunnel here, right? Because you have to figure out a ways like how do people get into this area, right? And so there's going to be like, if you see like these roads, so one of them is going to be here, one of them here. Again, this is just that issue that I had with the terrain. One of them is going to be on this end, one of them over here, and one of them over here. So this is a perfect example. The terrain didn't get messed up. So for example, so one of those military trucks would be right here. So you wouldn't be able to get past it basically. And of course, once you approach it, it's going to start firing, and you know, if you persist, you'll be dead pretty quickly. But yeah, it'd be like um, that way. It wouldn't be like it wouldn't feel like a completely isolated area. Like if you think of Far Cry 5, that area was completely, because the cult and all that, they completely isolated that valley. They blow up the tunnels or whatever, and you couldn't get out. In my case, I want to make it so that it's, there's something back there, and so the way I want to do this is going to be like an episode 1 where you're going to uncover. what's going on here, and then the episode two is going to take you past, basically what's behind those tunnels, behind this area. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's uh sounds interesting, and but that's my plan. And yeah, thank you so much for asking. Exactly, exactly. Phil, that's the perfect way to say it. Thank you. Yes. So I think what I wanted to do is actually just lift these up a little bit more and kind of create like a little bit of a slope, in here. But see uh that's kind of it in a nutshell. And there's other areas around here that you'd be able to explore. There's like a little, like a cave system as well that will provide a different approach. There's like a sewer system as well in the town that will provide you with a different way to get to different areas in town. So yeah, it's to me this is like a lot of fun to do this stuff. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and thank you for the kind words. I'm really happy that you stopped by. And I hope to see you on the next week. Oh yeah, so Phil, that's I've seen some of the VR projects, and those are uh, just impressive. Yeah. Is possible to have such long trees on solid rock. So that's one of the things. So what I'm going to do here is I will kind of create like a ramp, and these are just going to jump, kind of grow on this, it's going to be on the ground, you won't be able to tell how big the rock is underneath, so to speak. Yeah, so kind of like this. But I've seen some, nature is crazy, man. I've seen some, I've traveled to some areas and I've seen some weird things just growing on top of little boulders, so it's, yeah. You know that thing from Jurassic Jurassic Park, life will find a way. Yeah. Yeah. Can be unnatural. That's how I feel. It's exactly how I feel. And kind of the nice thing about it is that well, I mean, yeah, to some extent you can go crazy with uh with natural stuff. I mean, I also don't want to, take it too far either, but and I don't want to have too many trees like growing out of just straight rock, but yeah, there's some weird stuff out there. Yeah, And also that's one of the reasons that I've created this shader so that it's kind of like there's this surface on top of the rocks themselves that kind of look like there's some natural spreading of natural seeds or whatever, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm kind of liking having this be a little bit of an angle here, like not so it breaks up. So you kind of have this straight line here, which I'm not a big fan of. But then at least this one here is a little bit at an angle. I didn't want to have like, straight, straight, straight. And again, I have no training in this, so I'm just kind of doing how I feel, you know. And speaking of this area here, I'm just gonna try and make it a little bit, kind of bring that down a little bit like so, and try and slope it. See how that might turn out. These ramps are so useful. And yeah, you can even create like different like elevation, not elevations, but like offsets. I'm not sure what you call that. But yeah, let's see how we can do this over here. A bit like that. This one like so. So that's sloping down a little bit as well. Paint some mulch around here and try and kind of cut a little bit of an opening in here and around there. All right, let's try and resimulate this. I think this ledge is starting to, it actually, accidentally at least, it turned out quite all right. Maybe did I cut out a little bit too many trees up there? Not too many, but I think over here we could use a little more. I went a little too low with my sculpt. So we'll try and make this poke a little bit through the rock like that. These procedural foliage volumes are just awesome. I mean, I know now we have the PCG thing, but I am still loving. Um, it was one of those extra things that I'm like, I don't think my brain is gonna take all this extra stuff. As awesome as they all are, uh, there we go. That's pretty good. All right, so this one, we can use one of these pieces on the bottom of this, like that. So we'll just try and like close this off, this little path back there. There we go. And I can use this kind of flat piece over here to kind of do this corner. And let's just flip this around as well. There we go. I think that works out there. And with this little rounder thing, I'm going to try and just work out this this actual corner. There we go. And they're kind of blending together, like we're using the same base color. All right, that could work. Let's fix up the spline here because it's really, really thin. If I can find the points themselves. There we go, this one. See 2000. And we'll do the fall off. Oh no, not 20,000, my bad, 2000. All right, let's see if that will, I think we can even go a little higher. There, that's a little bit better. And now if we paint a little bit, that should, we'll add a little bit of, vegetation, not the grass, but let's do the mulch. So about there, kind of just going up the hill back here. And around here, up the hill. Let's do something on top of this rock here as well. We'll see what we can sculpt on this side. There we go. That's all right. Try and smooth this out. Paint some mulch around here. A little bit of grass. Oh, and I need to fix this road texture. Okay, and then this part here. Let's see how we can get this one in here as well a little bit. And I think with this, we'll hopefully be set with this side of the, let's call this river. But And oh, this part here, I need to, let's see if we can, what can we do with this one? Smooth it out. Maybe flatten it. There we go. Let's see how the trees are gonna do. There we go. Got a little bit of trees going on up top there and around here. Okay, that's good. So let's do some of this on this shore, and maybe next week we'll look at doing some of the kind of the shoreline, kind of the edge of this as it goes and it dumps into the lake. All right, let's see what we can do on this side. I'm going to start by kind of sculpting the terrain so that we're kind of just fixing this edge of this water body. So the one thing that I would say a little bit bothers me with this is just trying to position this in a way that is not like sticking out like a really sore corner thumb out of it. And yeah, that's but also not something that the player could climb, right? A couple of things there, but yeah. Hey, Supun, Tumblr looking fire. Well, thank you so much. That was I'm not sure. Were you in the stream yesterday? I can show you where that thumbnail is from. It's something that we really did in yesterday's stream. So let me know if you want to see that little area that we did. And I also think that these can also go up to 4 in scale without too much of an issue. We'll see how this looks from a distance, but I think the way to do it is going to be kind of like this. And, that's one of the things that, looks, when you have like an actual designer and when you have some dude at home like myself doing things, it's, like in Far Cry, they had these like really big peaks and mountains, and the way they had it integrated with the actual mesh was really nice. Like, for me it kind of works, but yeah, we're a little bit, yeah. So yeah, Supun, this is I'll jump here real quick. This is what we made yesterday. This area here, without the house, but this little outcropping. Keep using that word. I hope it's the right one to call it that way. So just setting this area up. So in a similar fashion, not finished on this side. In a similar fashion, we've just worked on this area here to try and get that done. And now we're on the other side this water body, this kind of this dumping from the dam, and so we've just trying to do some of this here as well to get some of those areas, hopefully, closer to the finish line. Sure how I feel about that for now, but yeah, and that's so uh, I've created this one blueprint, and I'm not sure if I still have it, but basically what it was in Unreal Engine 4. What did I call it? And it was basically just like a cube that I would place around the world, and it would like literally split the world into grids, and I could like work in that particular grid and just put a checkbox on the grid, and it would turn green. Basically, I'm done with editing, adding small details and what have you in that one grid. And I'm definitely gonna do the same thing for like kind of, I wouldn't call them all like hero areas, but the areas where the character is gonna have more focus. For example, areas around, kind of this campgrounds over here, areas around town, areas around the where that those antennas are, so all the populated areas. Maybe some of just the natural areas that the player would just pass through. I might not do too much of that detailing, but because all of it is just pretty much procedurally generated. There's not a lot of things that I add, but um, that was kind of my thought on kind of keeping track of the design pieces. So yeah, okay, so this is actually not looking that bad. Let's see, once we sculpt this terrain a little bit and we add some trees, maybe we'll also make it look even better. So again, I'm just gonna do a little bit of terracing out here, back behind this. Supun, the trees are from a package called the Nordic Conifer Biome. It's actually an amazing package, and well, at least to me, I really love it. And yeah, if you're interested, the nice thing about it is that the developer is, all his packages are really awesome. I think it's called Pixel Goat Store. That's uh, that's where I have the trees from, and they're quite well optimized. Is one of the things that I really like. But yeah, I played with SpeedTree a while back, and just did a like a trial version. I mean, it was great. It's great if, for like, you know, people that want to make, things themselves and tree. Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. Imran, that's like you're the only one that mentioned that, at least that I remember. I use that, and that's actually a really awesome plugin. I have to say, I haven't checked it if it's still maintained or, but I was actually playing around with it, and I got some actually some really good results. I was happy with them. They were pretty performant, and yeah, it was totally awesome. But I'm not sure if it's still around. Oh, it's still active. That's awesome. That's great. Oh yeah, yeah, and it's really well optimized, I think, when it comes to LODs, and it goes into billboards really nicely. So yeah, I'm definitely liking this package. Let's see, where's the flat surface? I think that should be okay like that. There. Hey, GenoStream, welcome. Hello, hello. All right, let's do some mulch and some trees. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream for me today, guys. But if I can get some of, like I said, a couple of these two sides of the river done, and that'd be I'd be happy with the work today. I'm doing all right, Gino. I'm doing all right. Hopefully you're doing good too. How are you doing? So Gino, this is it's a single player action adventure video game. It's whoa, that went a little bit overboard with the trees over there. And it's like I said, it's a single player video game, action adventure. It's happening in this it's taking place in this world here, you know, um, world design inspired, of course, by the looks of it, from Far Cry 5, Days Gone. So a couple of games that I really loved. Like I think the only two games that I've played like to almost 100% completion. So the way the game is, you enter the world through a plane crash. You can jump into three different locations. So the game is going to start a little different depending on the locations that you're at, and it's going to join into one single thread a little bit later on. And currently, I'm trying to finish off this area around the town where one of the jump locations are going to be at, um, and where I want to kind of focus a demo around. And my fingers crossed, my hopes is that the demo to to be done this summer. That's where I'm like working as hard as I can towards. Is that's what I'm shooting for. And so once you jump out of the airplane, you land, you kind of get up, and you're gonna meet kind of one of three first NPCs, and they're gonna hand you this little tablet that you're gonna keep track of your missions. It's gonna be work as a compass, as a basic inventory, as kind of looking at the health bar. So with that, you're gonna get the missions from the friendly NPCs, and some of these places have been overtaken by the bad guys, and you're gonna have to, um, right now the combat part is, stealth takedowns and like simple weapons like rifle, bow, and pistol, and that's how you'd be able to, literally take them out, along with the basic, human enemy NPCs. There's going to be, something I just shown earlier, like one of these guys to block entrance to certain areas. And just like somebody else on the stream said, just like an invisible, not a, but a barrier, right? And but yeah, so this is kind of the world. There's going to be like just, trying to make it as, sort of realistic. There's like a residential area up atop this hill, like a little bit of a downtown area. There's going to be like an industrial, this is going to be like a dam area over here where we've worked on the stream. And, like a factory area here that's been kind of walled off by the bad guys, and you're gonna need to get into that and figure out what's going on. Uh, this has been a bug or an issue that I ran into with Unreal, and I had to redo the terrain, so I'll resculpt it. This is like a little bit of a mobile home area, like an observation point over here. Some antennas. This is also going to be a focus for one of the missions in the game. And yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You'd be able to use like a sewer system around here to kind of navigate around the town, just to get from, and yeah, they're not perfectly connected together just yet, but you'll be able to like jump from, from here to like, here, um, to, back here. Um, to, back here. So kind of you'd be able to take a different approach to getting to some, I wouldn't say isolated, but, away from the enemy's eyes locations and, kind of have another approach to some of the missions. So yeah, in a really short thing, that's what it is. And Imran, the minimap, that's been on my mind for a while now, and I'm trying to figure out a best way to do it. So yeah, bear with me there. Might not be ready for like a demo or something, but I'm definitely thinking of having it for the game itself. Yeah. So, my thought with this is going to be like a part one, this the game itself, and then a part two will take place, out of this area. That's why I didn't want to completely close off the areas, and they're linked to the next area outside, through like tunnels, so these tunnels are going to be blocked by those military machines, and that's how you're gonna, um, you can tell that there's something back there, basically. Uh, so yeah, guys, I think we've done some work on both of these. This is, I'm gonna refine a little bit further, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what I was trying to do, and just on these two sides of this river, or I would say, um, the overflow from the dam, you know. And I really appreciate everybody stopping by. As I was saying, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, and I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it here. Isupun, if we create town by town and complete set dressing in another map at the end, getting all things together, I mean, is it a good approach that an indie game dev can have? That's kind of how I approached it. So I'm trying to, um, like I had, in my mind, I had kind of the idea of what this world, that what I wanted to have in the world, right? So I took my it initially started as a bunker level, and then I transitioned it over to the kind of the dam level because it fits. It's kind of concrete, it's inside, machinery and all that. And then the town area, then this kind of industrial park where the bad guys have taken over the kind of the mobile home areas. So again, yeah, heavily inspired by how a Far Cry world is. Maybe not so much as Days Gone, but kind of like a Far Cry rural area sort of situation. So yeah, I mean that's how I did it, kind of piece by piece and area by area, and then just put them all together. Hey Gino, thank you so much for stopping by. Happy to have you, and hopefully I'll see you on the next week's stream. But yeah, Supun, hopefully that gives you an answer, and I'll be around Discord, if you have any other questions. All right, well, guys, again, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully it was something interesting to see. Uh, Appreciate you taking time out of your Sundays, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great week coming out, everybody, and I'll see you then. All right, take care. Bye.